What's up guys, Phantom here, back with episode 60 of my F1 2019 career mode, as we are going to Suzuka for the Japanese Grand Prix for round 17 of season 3 here. As you can see, we have a power upgrade, a minor one, but that will be enough to put us finally second in the R&D chart, as we are barely above Ferrari right now, as we also have a major aerodynamic on the rear wing to balance out our front wing. So we will go to the race.
Welcome to the only figure of 8 track on the F1 calendar. We're here at Suzuka for qualifying today ahead of the Japanese Grand Prix. The competition is certainly heating up as we head into today's qualifying. Some impressive times showing up during the previous practice sessions. Anthony Davidson, do you think we can expect a similar level of skill to be showcased during today's qualifier?
Well, I certainly hope so. The competition here is extremely tight, and I think we might see some very close times today. Remember, practice isn't just about fastest lap times though, it's about optimization, it's about ratifying your decisions. No one's going to be sweating small mistakes here and there, but in qualifying that all changes. You need to nail that perfect lap or face the consequences, and believe me, that's a lot of pressure.
As we start out here in Q2 with about 30 seconds left in qualifying here, as we come to the final chicane, the infamous final chicane here, which has seen controversies here at Japan, as we are going to start our flying lap, as our teammate Raikkonen is right behind us here, so he should get a very good slipstream down this front stretch here as we come to the end of the lap here, back down to the chicane, as I'm really not attacking that first curve, and this time around we didn't attack that second curve very much there, as we're going to get DRS, come to the line, and we will be P7. But surprisingly, Raikkonen, who had the slipstream behind us, only finishes 8th, as we will move on to Q3. As we are in Q3 now at the very end of the session, this will be our one and only flying lap here, as we absolutely mount the curve there, that second curve there at the chicane, to get a very good run down the front stretch here, as we have started our flying lap here, as it is kind of bumpy, this track here at Suzuka, as we come into the long turn 1 turn 2 complex here, as we take as much curb as you dare on the outside, as Verstappen has set the fastest lap of qualifying here in Q3, as we come over that terrible bump would nearly send us into the pit lane there, as we will come across the line in P4, as her teammate Raikkonen once again has been out qualified, probably 4 or 5 to 1 this season, as we will start on the second row with Vettel, as the McLarens are on pole positions for the race.
And a very warm welcome to the Japanese Grand Prix, an event that has decided a Drivers' Championship 11 times over the years and has hosted some very memorable races as well. Who can forget Kimi Raikkonen's win from 17th on the grid in 2005, or Kamui Kobayashi's incredible drive to a podium in 2012. We're southwest of the city of Nagoya today at the unique figure of 8 Suzuka circuit. 3.6 miles and 18 corners make up a lap here, with average speeds approaching 136 miles per hour. DRS will be available, of course, into the potential passing opportunity at turn 1, although the best place for overtaking will be through 130R and into the final chicane. Anthony Davidson, a very warm welcome to you as you join me in the commentary box for today's event. Let's talk about Old Time. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
It's been a really solid year so far. There have been some incredible standout performances, but what's really impressed me has been the consistency. With this kind of form, I'm expecting another great race today.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he starts from pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Oldtimer, Valtteri Bottas, and Faber, Perez, Ricciardo, Grosjean, and Kimi Raikkonen, Sainz, Hamilton, Devon Butler, and Kvyat, Norris, Stroll, Antonio Giovinazzi, and Nico Hülkenberg. Magnussen and George Russell ends our grid lineup. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
As we sit here on the grid in P4 after yesterday's qualifying performance here, as the 5 lights are on and they are out, as we get a pretty average start there, as Vettel gets a really good start there, but he will get boxed in by the McLarens as Bottas is to our outside and actually gets slightly past us, as we were a little bit tentative going into turn 1 there, but we have managed to squeeze them out as we are going through the S's right now. As we get the first couple corners there, absolutely wrong there, as we have to quickly try to settle into a groove here, as Japan here is a very flowy circuit here, as you need to be on top of your game, as Verstappen obviously has set the fastest lap as he's kind of streaking away there a little bit, as Weber is right now in our slipstream but with no DRS there, as we try to break it there as we go through turn 1, turn 2 here, as we are just able to keep the car under us as it really wants to slip out there, as Perez has gotten past Weber there, as we are changing our strategy to stopping on lap 8 instead of lap 6 there, as we get off turn 2 there okay, as we come up to lap 7 here, as we are caught up to Leclerc and Vettel, who has gotten past him, as Vettel is going into the pits, but we have DRS on Leclerc here, and Verstappen is also in the pits here, as we're closing right up to Leclerc, who's going to have to go slightly defensive into turn 1 and go slightly wide there, but we don't have the traction to pressure him into the S's here, as we come to the final chicane here, as we will close right up to him, kind of lose the back end there a little bit going into the corner there, as we are coming into the pits, as we've managed to get it barely woed up, trying to judge off of Leclerc, see if we can jump him going into the pits here, as he is the first one in, as we are Alfa Romeo, as they did not have a very good season, as we exit there right behind Leclerc, so we were not able to jump him, as Verstappen has gotten past us already, as it looks to be a bunch of cars there, as it looks like Vettel is in that cluster as well, as they go 3 wide through there, as it looks like the Toro Rosso went a little bit wide there, as it looks like Vettel may or may not have gone past, it doesn't look like, but into the hairpin we're going to make a pretty late move there, as Leclerc just absolutely just gives us no room at all. Like, we were there for a good second and he still turned in on us, as he's getting past Giovinazzi here, who's on the medium tires, as we perfectly time our run there, as we will have the outside for the chicane here, as we are going to squeeze them out at the second part of it, as we come to the hairpin once again, as Kvyat's holding up the curve now, as we're a little bit closer. We're going to go for the move and he still turns in on us, as we are just going to absolutely give him the business and just run him out of space there, as he apparently did not want to give us any space on the entrance. We're going to give him no room on the exit there, as Kvyat goes into the pit, as Leclerc is in our slipstream, but it doesn't look like he's, very good top speed there, as we are running a pretty average setup there, as we need to get through the S's pretty well. But on the lap 11 here, Leclerc is definitely a lot closer to us, as we are going to have to pick one way, as the AR are normally really bad on the inside there, so we're going to make him pick and try to go around the outside. We've made contact with Leclerc there, as he's gone half spinning, but as you can see on the replay here, I feel like we gave him clearly enough room there, as he kind of just ran himself into us more than anything there, as we surely gave him enough room. But on the exit of the corner, as he's rejoining, he just stops on the apex for some reason. It looks like he may be stuck there a little bit, as Grosjean and Ricciardo, who was in the points, as he gets clobbered by a Red Bull, as Ricciardo was in the points for the first time. Renault could have gotten some actual points this year, as they are only team not to have any points, as Raikkonen also got half spun later in the lap there. As you can see, they're going by the wreckage there, as Verstappen has won the Japanese Grand Prix and set the fastest lap there, as we will come across the line to finish third and grab another podium.
Good job, you did really well. Super driving.
It was a tough race at times, but they've held on to take a great victory for McLaren today. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
Well, they certainly stood out as a drive with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
Our drivers are making their way out for the podium celebrations, and it's going to be McLaren picking up the winner's trophy. Congratulations to the entire team for that fantastic performance. And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. It wasn't the best weekend for our championship leader, and their advantage at the top has been reduced. Some amazing talents out on the track today, but Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
Well, Lance Stroll would be my pick. He managed to keep a cool head today whilst pushing through the field.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. McLaren supplant the previous leaders, taking control of the championship. Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.